Sea devils back from the deep to utterly ruin your fish and chips. These scaly cunts wake up after we've turned the oceans into a plastic shithole, and humanity's big plan? Shoot first, virtue signal later.
Based AF.
Some absolute clown books cabs for spooks ends up negotiating with fish queens, mainly because he's the only big-eared freak in the room they can relate to.
Okay.
Full recap starts now.
Anyway, stinky fisher folk yeet a creepy fish man in a small net. So shameless coward Barclay Pierre Dupont is called into his shady off-the-books government job, despite not even being formally employed, due to a rather nasty HR mix-up. Lol, typical civil service, eh? Flown to military base and pays respects to a mutant corpse, but the general officially terms Homo Aqua, mainly because he looks like a ponce. And because apparently their traditional name for 60 years in Doctor Who lore is now deemed too racialist for current day sensibilities, and that RTD the retarded bloke thus changed it so as not to insult the Alphabeti Brigade.
Cowards!
Anyway, turns out there's some sort of pearl in its neck, but the Unified Intelligence Task Force, aka UNIT, have no idea what it's for. You know, I'm sure there's a pearl necklace gag in there somewhere, but I can't really be asked to ChatGPT it right now. Diverse UK military, featuring one token whitey between them, soon make contact and chat fishy shit with fishy freaks. Meanwhile, sole token Honky gets instantly drowned whilst the faggy corpse is retrieved by a local homo. Aqua. Cowardly Barclay cucks out even more after seeing 2 dead bodies in one day, and confesses to the general that he got mixed up with some fella called Roger Chiddick, and he's in fact just a transport temp what books taxis for the spooks and actually has 0 security clearance.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Diversity hire General Blackie McBlackface, who's played here by a guy who must think he's in some kind of Amdram parody speaking with that ludicrous over-the-top accent.
Captain, tell me what's happened!
Just shrugs at the revelation he's incompetent at his one job and has foolishly let an accidental imposter onto his super secret base where he's casually seen all sorts of super sensitive intel and highly classified info. Refuses to admit fault nor take responsibility and instantly remove him. Instead just makes him a civilian witness to witness alien first contact, which he's achieved through sheer accident.
Bro is living the dream. Bro is living the dream.
Asian colleague moans she studied for years to get her position, and this Dumbo fella with the floppy ears just managed it by pure buffoonery. Classic white privilege apparently. Anyway, tells him the fish peeps ain't actually aliens, but rather just ancient creatures what live and shit in the sea.
Okay.
Waffles on with anecdotes about meeting some doctor bloke off screen last year. Apparently, the actor ain't playing the same character from the 2007 Christmas epi, what totally featured a UK national treasure, and an Aussie pop star who was also there.
I don't remember!
Military refine translation tech and agree to a Truce-y team-up at a specialised location. Homos appear all over the world and give local Asians a little fright. Unit builds special waterway by River Thames as a junction between the land and the sea. Barks is promoted and dumps a tidy 3k into his chocolatey ex-wife's bank account for shits and giggles. Still can't get laid. Bizarrely proceeds to call water gay.
So, Homo Aqua's gay water. That's what you've been drinking, Kirby. Too much gay water.
Stunning and brave unit boss Kate Lethbridge Stewart promptly begins the ceremony. Initiates tank flooding so their new aquatic friends can enter and have a swim about. And you know it's fiction because the waterway was built within weeks and not 7 years late after countless rounds of PFI and dodgy contracts. And you also know it's made in current day UK because it breaks instantly after first use.
Standard.
The Aqua Homos arrive and have now brought something even uglier than them along with them. Humans promptly dub it the Katie Price fish.
Oh whoa, the price is back.
Aqua Queen turns up, looks them up and down. What's up with all these multicoloured land dwellers and their silky smooth necks?
Disgusting!
Drops her fishy eggs as perverse gifts and moans about how pollution killed them before they even hatched.
No eggs. No
empty egg carton.
You don't have any eggs.
And demands to know what they're going to do with them filthy spice munchers what keep crapping in rivers all over the place. Everyone just shrugs and avoids a question for fear of getting cancelled.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Quickly gets bored of the pale male and stale ambassador and demands to speak with the one Homo sapien in the room what has the same giant ears as them. Also because he did that cross thing in front of a corpse at one time, which apparently counted as bothering to show an ounce of respect. Ugh, if I have to, he says meekly. Right, episode 2, Kate furious with civilian witness, who was just supposed to sit in as a civilian and witness things and not go and take over the whole bloody show. Must be a spy, she reckons. Seizes his phones and looks through his search history and emails. Finds only subscriptions to Men's Landscaping magazine and a terabyte of midget porn. Fuck's sake, nothing remotely of concern. She turns. Well, why does that fish queen want you then, gimp boy? No clue, ma'am, he replies. Not even my African ex wants me, to be fair. Turns out the main homo's name is Salt. Why?
Don't know.
Unit team of scientists try to study the fish peeps and how their tech and culture works. And no, you don't have to be in a wheelchair to get a gig on this team, but it clearly fucking helps.
Weird.
Black scientist takes biopsies of fishy egg things, what they were given as gifts, whilst dodgy assistant looks on super dodgily.
This isn't going to end well.
Chocolate X bollocks poor Barks for sneaking into a military base, becoming a civilian witness, and then being chosen as an ambassador to humanity's first meeting with mysterious fish folk, all by total accident. I mean, after all, he was only meant to book a fucking taxi.
You had one job.
Just the one.
Anxious Kate gets soothed by Junior Commander, who says stop waffling on about not being able to win a potential war with fish freaks when oceans surround the whole planet and snog my bloody face off already. Oh, which she does. Oops.
Go on, you dirty scat.
Dodgy lab assistant dodgily flogs secret samples to shady agents in return for UK citizenship. Waste of time, really. Could have just come in via dinghy and said he was a bona fide Christian whilst holding an infidel severed head behind his back. Rookie move. Anyway, said samples make their way back to top brass of foreign countries who make their own packs and schemes. Pretty French general removed from duty, and probably for being prettier than bossman Kate, as Barclay's made to read a boring stuffy script full of pandering jargon and legalese. Fish Queen says, shut up and talk normally for frig's sake, before we all lose the will to live and totally top ourselves. Finally, someone who speaks for the audience. Humanoid fish what live in water randomly requests a glass of water, but this time fresh from the Thames. Demands he drink the filthy brown ooze right fuckity now. Says he can't, bro. Don't want to get jelly belly and full-blown AIDS. Instead makes him grovel like a little bitch and cringily monologue about climate change. Something somehow deemed less boring to them apparently, but certainly not to us or any non-BBC woke-tard audience. Guess they don't speak for us after all. Still punishes them anyway to send a message. Launches a blizzard of litter onto the city. How?
Don't know.
And much like after that time a bunch of hookers did too much blow at the Playboy Mansion and toppled off the top floor balcony, it starts raining fucking plastic.
That's so dangerous.
Cut to extras trying and failing to act their way out of a paper bag. And almost literally. Turns out it's happening all over the world. And they know that because the old and busted wreck made in 1912 finally ends up in Manhattan. And no, I'm not talking about Madonna, but the frigging Titanic. Local far-right Albion party calls for aggressive unity against common enemy Homo Aqua.
Gay water.
Wheelie science team notices the Queen's testosterone spikes when angry and seemingly changes gender on a biological level.
So she's a man now?
Correct.
So anyway, this trans fish of colour says it ain't acceptable to wait about 40 years for humans to get their act together fast enough to reduce environmental pollution. So it looks like it's going to be war, son. Especially when she forbids humans to trade or transport goods over oceans or fly overseas, thereby screwing trade routes and delivery chains for everyone. But later agrees to negotiate one more time, but this time on their home turf. 25,000 feet and 5 miles deep down at the base of the Mariana Trench. Which is problematic to say the least. Because where are they going to find a sub strong enough to take them deeper than the depths of a Kardashian's blowhole?
That's impossible!
And that's it. That's the epic new show from the writer of Queer as Folk and that other one about AIDS. And also that other one featuring elements of AIDS. You know, I think this specky fella's got AIDS of the brain, son.
You think?
And speaking of lazy recycled content, if I had a penny for every time a Russell T Davies 5-part adult-orientated Doctor Who spin-off included the construction of a tank to allow communication with another species, I'd have 2 pence. But still, it's weird that it happened twice.
Boring, sloppy, lazy.
Anyway, all I could keep thinking about during this trash was where the frig was the phony fakey kind of sort of 14th Doc already, who we last saw deciding to chill out on Earth and with a full-blown fully operational TARDIS parked out in Donna's back garden.
What?
Guess he's watched the first 2 series of Disney's New Who and quickly noped out like the rest of us.
Yeah, that's probably good, yeah.
Whatever. Smash that like, sub and share button as well as that bell thing so you don't miss me recapping the rest of the series. Tell me your thoughts on this literal shit show down below. And I'll roast a half-assed BBC show set in an alternate universe England where everyone's black and whiteys are the 13% minority in the country are just going by on-screen demographic depictions with you in the next one.
What about the neck? Was there a pearl? You don't turn your back on family.